Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out today and be part of the democratic process that is part of what makes our country great. I think we all know here today that our country is going in the wrong direction. Some say the solution is more government and higher taxes. My friends, as Ronald Reagan said, government is not the solution to our problems, government is the problem. And more specifically today, it is the federal government that is our problem. It is a government of nationalized health care. It's a government of oppressive new regulations. It's a government of trillion-dollar deficits. It's a government of class warfare. It's a government that funds abortions and tramples on religious liberty. It's a government that blocks our domestic energy development, and a government that refuses to secure our borders. It is a government that has failed America. But in 2012, we can change that government. In fact, I believe that 2012 will be a great year for freedom and for the future of our country. We need a new direction. We need to restore America. Restoring America must begin with defending our freedom. Our founding fathers understood that big government threatens our freedom. The source of our freedom is not a benevolent government. No, our freedom is not a gift of our government. As Thomas Jefferson said, the God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time. The Declaration of Independence tells us that the source of our freedom is from our Creator. The Declaration of Independence says this: we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Today, these God-given rights are under assault. In this time and in this place, it is for us to come to the defense of these fundamental rights. Is it a duty imposed on us by our forefathers? It's a responsibility that we have to our children, so that they may know and enjoy the same blessings of liberty that we have known and enjoyed. In 2000, I was proud to stand before the Supreme Court of the United States and defend Nebraska's ban on partial birth abortions. Two years ago, I was deeply disappointed when Congress voted to allow our tax dollars to be used to pay for abortions. I believe that it's morally wrong to have our tax money used for abortions. More recently, we have witnessed President Barack Obama's war on religion. He took federal funding away from religious organizations that have fought against the sexual trafficking of women because those organizations oppose abortion on religious grounds. Even more recently, the Obama war on religion attacked the rights of conscience protected by the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States by requiring Catholic hospitals and universities to provide insurance coverage for birth control, sterilization, and some abortion drugs. We must put an end to this war on religion. Over 53 million children have been killed by abortionists since Roe v. Wade was decided. But I firmly believe that this carnage will not continue forever. I firmly believe that a just God will not forever allow His innocent children to be slaughtered. And I look forward to the day when the Supreme Court of the United States will say that our Constitution, which was written to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, does not authorize the killing of the very posterity it was written to protect. Until recent days, marriage in the United States of America and throughout Western civilization has been understood to be the union of a man and a woman. The nuclear family has been the building block of civilization throughout history. It is the institution for the care and socialization of the children of each succeeding generation. There are those today who wish to dramatically revise the institution of marriage. These efforts should be opposed. We need an amendment to the Constitution of the United States that will define marriage as the union of one man and one woman for all purposes of federal and state law. If we value our health care, we need to repeal Obamacare. In order to secure the future for our children, we must cut federal spending and add a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution of the United States. And we must develop our domestic energy resources. We cannot continue to allow the radical environmentalists to dictate the energy policy of the United States of America. We must secure our borders because our national security requires it. And finally, we must stand firm in defense of the Second Amendment, life and religious freedom. And what do we need to do to restore America's greatness? I believe that it begins with faith. The Bible tells us what is needed to restore a nation. It's written in 2 Chronicles that if my people, who are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. So restoring our nation must begin with earnest prayer. So when you go home tonight, I would encourage you to pray for the future of our nation. Pray that God will indeed heal our land. But it's not enough to pray. Every story in the Bible except creation involved men and women inspired by God who did what they were called upon to do. So what else in addition to prayer do we need to do to restore America? Number one, and very importantly, go and vote. Choose your elected representatives. And as was mentioned earlier, some people will tell me, well, I only have one vote. It can't make that much difference. But that's all that any of us have. Back in 1990, in the Democratic primary for governor, that race was decided by less than 50 votes statewide. And Ben Nelson went on to serve 2 terms as governor, 2 terms in the U.S. Senate, and cast the deciding vote for Obamacare. So that is how important a handful of votes were 20 years ago. In my own experience, when I first won my Republican primary for Attorney General in 1990, I won that election by less than 1 vote per precinct. So your vote does count. In addition to your vote, I would encourage you to get your friends and neighbors to vote and take the opportunity that we have here in the United States to be part of our government decision-making process. And finally, and very importantly, help those candidates who are courageous and who share your values, your hopes, and your dreams for America's future. If we believe in freedom, and if we believe in America, and I know that you all do, then let us go forward boldly, with courage, asking for God's help, loving freedom, remembering those who gave their lives for our freedom, loving our country, and changing our government, so that our posterity will say of us that when the challenge came, we had the courage to defend our freedom and restore our nation. May God bless you and be with each of us as we work together to change America. Thank you.